What's going on, I was not anticipating. I didn't even finish my sentence. That's how excited I am. I was not anticipating us to actually get anything from this game anytime soon. So, for what I saw on Twitter, this got a closed beta announced with four characters: Katara, Aang, Zuko, and bro, am I Korra? Jesus, I don't know what my brain just shut off there. I'm very curious to see because this is another gameplay trailer. What they're actually giving us. So I don't know. We kind of got a gameplay trailer before, but it didn't really contain that much. It was kind of very spiced up, but it was enough to get me excited. I'm very this is coming out next year. Is very quickly moved up to one of my most anticipated games. So let's just hop in and see what we can see here. Still looks really good. I really like the art style. Okay. They're zipping, they're zooming. Okay. Okay. For me, the biggest thing is it needs to be fluid. Okay. Combo into a pop-up, into that. I'm sure he can combo after that. Okay. That's like, this is like a parry. They said something about a parry in the description. Okay. Korra gets her combo. Okay. What was that? Grab tech. So it has grab tech, obviously. We saw Korra do a bit of the parry. Okay. That looked weird. Something not working there, but I like how fast everybody is moving. Okay, Zuko looks really annoying. He is stall in the air. Yikes, bro! The animation looks so good. Like the actual art stuff looks great. Okay, we get a Korra super. Okay, the super wasn't much. But let's go through. Okay, so here we go. Close alpha. There we go. Aang, Korra, Katara, and then Zuko. So summer 2026. I'm assuming like maybe May, June. But let's talk about this a bit. One thing I noticed. This is pre-alpha footage, so I think a lot of things are going to be ironed out. I would assume this isn't a huge budget fighting game, but that doesn't matter to me. As long as it's fluid and it's fun to play, that's really all I care about. So, one of the things I noticed in this trailer, I don't know if this is intentional, but it's very prevalent if you look at this portion of the trailer, where Aang is doing a string, and it kind of just goes through Zuko. You see he has the block animation, but then he does that, and it kind of just it doesn't block it, like he's blocking. It's weird. It just looks weird. I don't know if that's intentional or not. But let's talk about some of the other gameplay stuff. I do think it looks good art style wise. I will say some of the gameplay stuff looks a bit clunky right now. It's obviously still pre-alpha, so there's a lot of time to work out the kinks. But I'm excited with some of the gameplay stuff that I'm seeing, and it looks fun. So, first we get Korra versus Aang. It's I don't get the Korra hate. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I really don't get how people don't like Korra, like her show. Like, I always see people be like, oh, this show is trash, and I really don't get that. Like, you can argue season 2 is a bit rough, but other than that, I thought it was pretty good, so I don't get that. I just wanted to throw that out if you want to know my stance on that. So Aang is zipping around, bro. He has a lot of things. Movement is a focus in this game. He has his glider. The glider animation is a bit weird. Like, it doesn't look that fluid. And then you see here, he can kind of go to the ground. Like, he could fast fall. I don't know if that's something every character can do. It might be specific to him because of airbending, but he can fast fall here. Korra goes into this water move, which it propels her in a diagonal thing, which is nice. Aang anti-airs the hell out of that because that's clearly not safe. He goes into a cancel, I believe. Let's see. Let's look at. It looks like he goes into a. So I wonder if there's just direct air cancels. Like, obviously he punished her with like a down heavy, and then he can just air cancel. He air canceled into a special move, which is interesting. And then we got here, he has this little ball thing. Everybody seems, that's why I say I think there's a heavy focus on movement in this game. Everybody seemingly has something to get them to move across the screen. Aang has this glider. Korra can propel herself with water. And you see it again with Zuko in the very next gameplay, where he kind of propels himself forward. That might just be a jump. The only reason I think some of these things are special is because when they're doing it, there's like a special animation attached to it. Like they like glow. Like you see he's blue, like he's doing a special move. But it looks like a regular jump. But I don't know. Maybe he's going into something. Aang just falls into the wall. We get a Zuko dive kick. Aang is charging a special. Yeah. This looks good, bro. This game is gonna be fun. And then you get the Zuko goes into he can 1,000% combo after this. 1,000%. He goes into down heavy into an air special, and he lands before he can combo after this. And then we get Aang again on his ball, just zipping around. Korra can propel using fire bending. Then she also has kind of a dive kick. And this is the most interesting part of this gameplay to me. So there is a sort of parry mechanic, right? Aang is attacking her. She, boom. Nah, that ain't gonna work. He does it again. She like, boom. Nah, that ain't gonna work. He does, and then she slides under his move and she punishes him. That is the type of movement stuff I really want to see from an Avatar game. Those sick moments where you're like, everything feels fluid. And like, that was a perfect example how this entire game should feel, to where every movement feels so concise and fluid. Like, oh man. Okay. But we're talking too much. And then she gets this is a fire bending overhead kick. Look at Aang's face. And then she goes into a combo. I like her combo mixes, obviously, the different elements. She get a grab here. Aang gets the tech grab. We kind of talked about this one before. Aang, okay, so he has flight cancel, by the way. He can cancel out of glider. So you see it here. This one in particular, immediately cancel into an overhead. So Aang is going to have some flight cancel stuff. He does it again into a charged heavy. A lot of cool things from Aang. He seems really fun in terms of like some of the stuff he can do. We get Korra. She's just zooming over Zuko's head. I wonder if some of these things with the animation is like blue, or like the blue thing is specials, but who knows. Zuko again with these just air stalling dive. He's just doing all kind of stuff. I can't wait to see this game at a higher level to see what some of the crazy players can do. He combos into that, by the way. She goes into that thing we talked about before. I'm assuming that's like some type of EX. She pops them up at the end of that, and she goes into special. So I can't wait for this game to get in the hands of like high level fighting game players, so I can see a lot of the things that can be done. My first impressions is that it looks fun to me, and that's kind of all I want. Is I just want a game. I literally just want an Avatar game that is fun to play, that is very functional online. Obviously, there's a couple of things that need to be worked out that you can tell, like it's like pre-alpha stuff where some of the block animations aren't really working. A lot of the things look a bit clunky, but you can see the vision when they're doing things, and it looks smooth. It looks really smooth. So I'm curious to see what other people think about this. I mean, I need that closed beta test. I need to play this game expeditiously. I think they said Justin Wong is like the community. I don't know if he's the community manager. I don't know what Justin Wong. Justin Wong doing something for this game. Justin Wong do everything. Y'all remember that one show that had that girl that had a bunch of jobs? I think it was on Disney Channel. That's Justin Wong. Justin Wong always got different. He always doing something, and I respect it. That man stay employed. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what this game looks like in the hands of like people who play fighting games actively. I'm excited about it. I do think it looks good. I do think it looks fluid. It has a lot of potential. But let me know what you think in the comment section about this game. What characters do you want to see? What else? What else would I want to know? What characters do you want to see? What would you even want from an Avatar game? Do you care? I know this has a story mode. How much do you care about the story mode? Do you want to, like, I don't know. I guess what would you want from this game? Like, when you think about an Avatar fighting game, What do you envision outside of characters? Maybe give me your characters too. As always, everybody, I'm out.